Saints Chiefs recap, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day after the night before. So it is Tuesday. Okay, I've had time to reflect on the situation. I've had time to sit back and think about Chiefs, Saints. Thank you again for everyone who joined me on the live stream. 1,200 people. Unbelievable time. So we have a real issue brewing in New Orleans. We have a real issue brewing with the New Orleans Saints. That issue is that we have a bipolar personality. The issue is that we are seemingly two different teams conjoined at the hip, and they are pulling in different directions. I was very interested today when I woke up. I obviously had a million comments on old YouTube videos, just months old, and all these comments were, told you so, how do you feel now, what do you think now, blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of shocking because you would think, we're putting out 2 videos a day. We've done 2 videos a day since the season begun. So you would think that everyone would understand how we view this, how we view box scores, how we view stats and metrics and whatnot. And actually, the current stats and metrics back up exactly what we've said the entire time. And I'm going to go through that in this video. I'm going to kind of talk about what exactly is going on with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, it blows my mind. I could just see these people now commenting, and they're sitting there slobbering in their real monster pajamas, typing away on the computer. And they say, see, this is the team. This is the team right here. We tried to tell you in weeks 1 and 2. To that, I would say this is not the team that we saw in week 1 and 2. I'll show you right now. This is Cat Terrell. Per ESPN research, Derek Carr used play action on 4 attempts on Monday night. 4. Okay? This is on September 16th. The Saints' play action rate was 52.3%, which was first in the league. So how do we go from 52% first in the league levels of play action to Monday Night Football, and we do it 4 times? Okay? Look at this. This is the Cowboys. This is after the Cowboys game. All right. I understand the Cowboys aren't the Chiefs. I understand the Cowboys front is not the Chiefs front. I understand that players were injured in the Chiefs game that weren't injured in the I understand there's a lot of volatility. But just think about it philosophically from just the way that the offense is running. In the Cowboys game, there are 15 rushing first downs. We are averaging 7.7 yards per play. 4.9 yards a carry. We had 30 minutes of offense. Okay. We ran 56 plays, 24 first downs. If you look at this, you were sitting here going, no, this is about as good of a performance as you can get. This should be heralded as, oh my God, this is an unreal performance. You should not see this box score and be like, well, maybe they're not that good. No. 7.7 yards per play, really good. 15 rushing first downs, insane. 5 yards a carry, whatever. Nuts. 30 minutes of time possession, nuts. All right. Yes, Dallas can be ran on. Again, I'm not comparing the Cowboys and the Chiefs, just philosophically of what we're trying to do on offense. Then you go to this abomination where you have 1 rushing first down. You have 20 minutes of possession. You lose the possession battle by 20 minutes. You give up 40 minutes of possession. You are allowing 5.8 yards per play while having 4.3 yards of play. So what is it, 4.3? 4.3 yards of play to 7.7. 3.4 yards per play difference. And then you look at the play action rate. You look at all this. This team right now, of what we saw against the Eagles and what we saw against the Chiefs, is not the same team that we saw in week 1 and week 2. And I don't mean results. I'm not saying that because we won or we lost. We were never we never predicted the Saints to beat the Chiefs. Losing to the Chiefs should not have surprised anybody. I really don't care about losing to the Chiefs. The result itself, I don't care about at all. What I care about is the inability to do anything when you can't do what you want. Like, if we can't if we don't have Taysom Hill on the field, we can't just say, well, Taysom Hill's not available, so we're just going to have the worst offense of all time. Taysom Hill's not there, so we're just going to completely abandon play action. Taysom Hill's not there, so we're going to completely abandon any kind of motion, or we're going to completely abandon what made us so successful. That doesn't seem like a great idea. Like, Taysom Hill is not always going to be there. I mean, Eric McCoy's hurt. Okay. A lot of teams deal with injuries. Our response to an injury can't be, well, we're hurt, we're banged up, so we're just going to completely throw out everything that made us successful. It's already hard enough to win. It's already hard enough to win as is. It's even harder to win as is whenever you do what made you successful and throw it out because you don't have all the pieces. Let's look at some more numbers here. So this is last week. Okay. This is last week, our offense was actually all right against the Falcons. We should have won that game. Box score told the true story. And then after that game, I sat here and I said, look, if you still look at our team, defense EPA, offense EPA, like, we're still okay. Like, we're still playing okay. And as long as we're playing okay, then we have reason to be positive, right? This is it today. Yeah, this is as of 7:40 this morning. Look at the drop. Look at the difference defensively. Look at the drop. Like, defensive EPA is the y-axis, offense is the x-axis. Look at that drop from week to week. It shows you how poor the performance was against the Chiefs, where you're dropping significantly defensively. And you're dropping, what, about a good chunk offensively. And then if you go to, this is Kevin Cole's, when was this? This is updated. This is through week 4. This is week 4. Yeah, this is week 4. Yeah, Kevin Cole hasn't updated his yet. But if you look at DVOA, so last week we were like 2. I think we were the number 1 ranked team on DVOA last week. We have fallen from 1 to 4. Offensively, we have fallen, I believe we were 2. We have fallen all the way to 11. Okay, so our offense now, not good. Like, now it's in that, 11 is still above average, and then defense has fallen all the way to 8. Okay, defensively is a huge problem as well, because we're getting into the world now where defensively we're not really doing much. We're giving up a lot, and it seems like we're doing that almost every game. This game, 5.8 yards per play, not good. Obviously, not good. Defense can't get off the field, right? Now, you could say, well, that's Patrick Mahomes, right? Okay, sure. Granted, Patrick Mahomes has no one else on the team, but okay, whatever. Eagles, we're giving up 7 yards per play, 460 yards of offense to Jalen Hurts, who didn't have A.J. Brown. Last night, like the Eagles game, Dallas Goedert has 170. We said, that's kind of a blip. I wouldn't focus too much on that. Okay. Well, then Kareem Hunt goes for 27 for 102. And Juju Smith-Schuster goes for 7 for 130. Juju Smith-Schuster had 7 for 130. Travis Kelce has been on a milk carton for this season. He goes for 9 for 70. The defense is not doing what they should be doing. The whole thing with this team, very similar to the Jets, was that top 5 defense, offense has to be above average, we'll be okay. There ain't nothing above average about giving up 5.8 yards per play and then turn around and giving up 5.3 yards per play to the Cowboys is giving up worse than league average. Let's see what the Falcons game was. We're just not good anywhere right now. The Falcons, 6.2 yards per play. You're giving up 6.2 yards per play to the Falcons, 5.8 or whatever to the Cowboys, 7 to the Eagles, and then the Chiefs got us for 5.8. So the offense is a problem, no doubt about it. The offense has not been good, no doubt about it. You could say there's some injuries there. The defense, now there were some injuries last night. Pete Werner, Willie Gay are out. But the defense is kind of playing like a sieve right now. It's kind of not really playing up to snuff. And if our defense isn't, I wonder if Pat Analytics has updated his stuff. Because he usually updates play caller stuff and all that. Let's see. Let's see if he's updated anything. No, I don't think so. No. He does his play caller rankings and all that stuff. I was wondering where he had Allen and Kubiak after last game. If the defense isn't going to play well, then that changes everything with this team. Everything. And it really changes why Dennis Allen is the head coach. If let's see where he had him. This is offensive play callers, defense. So this is October 2nd. So last week, Dennis Allen was ranked as the 6th best defensive play caller. I'll be interested to see where that goes after this game. I mean, this game wasn't like, I don't think it's going to be a super far drop after this. It will definitely be a drop. But we're getting into the territory now where, okay, Dennis, you got to answer some questions. Because Dennis Allen has not been a good head coach, and he's been kind of leaning on this idea of him being a good DC. Well, if our defense is giving up 6-7 yards per play, if we're allowing the other team to hold the ball for 40 minutes, if we're letting Dallas Goedert and Juju Smith-Schuster and Kareem Hunt and whoever dominate us week in and week out, that's not going to really do it for me, brother. The Saints now have to really answer some questions. And I mean, I'm filming this video early on a Tuesday, so we have not had the interviews and all that stuff. We haven't covered that yet, but there's got to be a lot of questions answered. And a lot of the questions I have are why we are changing so drastically. I mean, even Olave, like this is the kind of stuff that happened last year that I just didn't understand. All right, Olave starts the season. 2 targets, 2 catches. Okay. 2 targets, 2 catches in a blowout. It is what it is. They make a concerted effort to get him more involved. Okay. 6 targets, 4 catches. In another blowout. Next game, 6 for 6. Okay. Next game, 10 for 8. They really lean on him. Olave has probably his best game of the season. And then in a spot where you can't do anything offensively, in a spot where you are really struggling to get anything going, and these 2 targets are from Haener, so we'll just call it 2 for 2. How do you have a game plan? How do you have any semblance of a game plan that allows for Chris Olave to finish the game with Derek Carr with 2 targets and 2 receptions for 10 yards against the Chiefs, who are, this is going to be much better now than they were, but they were against the pass 14th against the pass. Bang average pass defense. Chiefs defensive front, elite. Chiefs pass defense, not elite. So how the hell are you losing the entire game, every single second of the game? How are you losing it, and you don't get your best player involved at all? Then that's actually kind of an understatement. Like, not getting him involved would be, 3 catches for 40-something yards. 2 targets, 2 receptions for 10 yards. I had 0 yards. I had just 10 less yards than Chris Olave, and I was sitting in New Orleans during the game. That shouldn't happen. All right? I had 2 less catches than Chris Olave, and there's not even a football in this house. Okay? Now let's take a look at some more stuff, because the further you go, the more disgusting it is. So this is the 3rd and 8 play. This is the second to last play, the penultimate play of Carr's night. Now let's watch this and break it down. All right, so Carr on 3rd and 8. Let me turn the volume off here. 3rd and 8. All right. Now, this is 4-down territory. It is a 60-yard field goal from where, and this is from Kevin Walsh Jr., Kevin.java. Okay. This is 3rd and 8. It's a 60-yard field goal at this time. It's 4-down territory. Or you need to get 5-ish yards to get in field goal range. At this point, I think it's a 10-point game. So that is relevant. Carr hucks this one up for Shaheed. This is not the interception. This is later in the game. Carr hucks it up to Shaheed for a nothing play. The next play is the pass to Mason Tipton on 4th and 8. This is a situational failure right here. Situationally, this should be either Chris Olave on a dig route, give me 5, 6, 7 yards, for then you can make a decision, okay, it's 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, do we go for it? Or, hey, it's now a 53-yard field goal, 52-yard field goal, do we want to let Groupie kick it, and then hopefully get it within 7, and then stop them, we'll have a chance at the end of the game. The last thing you can do is huck this ball up on 3rd and 8 and get absolutely nothing, to where you put yourself in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation where you either go for it on 4th and 8 or you kick a 60-yard field goal, which is not an option. So the situational decision making, whether this is from Klint Kubiak or Derek Carr, either one, whoever made the decision, this is a failure. Now, here's the other part of the problem. Derek Carr rushes every single bit of this. There is no pressure. There is not pressure here. Derek Carr is sensing the pressure, but there is none. He's throwing off his back foot here as if there's pressure right up the middle. Look at that. It's a fadeaway jumper. It is a fadeaway jumper. Why? Why rush it? Why rush this? There is no pressure up the front. And you may say, oh, there's pressure off the left side. No, there isn't. And Carr's not even feeling this because he certainly wouldn't fade away back foot floater it if he feels the pressure from this side. He'd step up and throw it moving up into the pocket. This play is my least favorite play of the entire game because situationally it's a mess. You'd be better off running the ball here, trying to get 3-4 yards and then deal with 4th and 4 or 4th and 5 or whatever it ends up being. You'd be better off with that than a floater rushed jump ball fadeaway to Rashid Shaheed. And another thing about Rashid Shaheed, what is this idea that he's like a jump ball specialist or a one-on-one contested catch specialist? Rashid Shaheed is good at burning the defense, taking the top of the defense, and catching a deep ball uncontested. In what universe is it plus EV to throw one-on-one jump balls to Rashid Shaheed? I don't think he's come down with a single one. If you're going to throw your one-on-one jump ball prayer, throw it to Chris Olave. And this does ask the question of why did you just waive in A.T. Perry, the only receiver who really can do, who's a specialist in doing this, of just a one-on-one jump up and go get it. Like Mason Tipton, I don't think we should be talking about Mason Tipton if we seriously think this team can make a run. Okay? So this play right here, I don't know. Again, I don't know who the blame goes to. If the blame goes to Carr, then Carr needs to wake up. Because this is bad all the way around. This is bad technique, falling off your back foot, not feeling the correct, or feeling simulated pressure that you simulated yourself, throwing off your back foot, not understanding the situation of it being 3rd and 8 and 4-down territory. And if it's Kubiak, same thing. Why aren't you telling Derek Carr, hey, man, we're going for it on 4th down. Get us 5 yards if nothing else. We need something efficient. We need something short so we can make a decision on 4th down. Was there no communication? Was there no conversation being had? Because I'm up until this game, I'm sitting here believing that our team is much better coached and much more prepared. In this situation, we just talked about the defense. The defense came into this completely gutless, completely nothing from the defense. Defense against Philadelphia. Didn't let them score, but 7 yards per play ain't going to do it. All right? So I get nothing from the defense besides Colin Saunders and Alontae Taylor. I get nothing from the defense. They seem completely unprepared, completely outcoached. And then from the offense, I get this. From the offense, I get a game plan that doesn't include Chris Olave, a game plan that has 4 play actions the entire game. 4. We go from 52% in first in the league to 4. How is it possible? What is going on with the game planning? How do you come into the Eagles game? I understand it. McCoy gets hurt, 3rd play of the game. Taysom was scratched I think the day before. So I can understand oh man, we're not prepared for this. Taysom didn't practice this week. Pretty sure we all knew he wasn't going to play. How was this the plan? We can't have this roller coaster philosophical thing where 1 week Chris Olave gets 10 receptions or 10 targets. The next week, Chris Olave gets 2 targets. 1 week, we're running 53% play action. The next week, we do it 4 times in a game. I'm going to need some answers. And it's not good enough if the answers are, oh, well, Taysom Hill wasn't there, so. Okay, well, next time, if Taysom Hill's hurt, let me know so I can watch something else. So I can watch Monday Night Raw. Or if it's on Sundays, I can watch a different game. Because what this is telling me is that if we don't have our horses, if we don't have our pieces, we can't run our offense, and we're not even willing to run our offense. We're just going to run some backyard version of our offense, and we're going to huck it up to Rashid Shaheed and hope that he comes down with a pass. That's pretty much the offense. And that ain't really going to do it. That ain't going to do it for me. Where's the motion? Where's the play action? Where's the creativity? Where's any of that? We're injured. We're busted up. You gotta adjust around it. You got to adjust around it. Now, the good thing is that our schedule is still easy, or one of the easier schedules in the league. The good news is that we're not playing, we're not in the AFC North. The good news is that we're in the NFC South. And the good news is we were supposed to lose to the Chiefs. So right now, if you told, Tampa, right now we're dogs against Tampa because who the hell knows who's going to play quarterback. And let me make this clear. Everything I'm saying is if we do have Derek Carr. If we have Jake Haener, we're not a 9-win, 10-win, 11-win team with Jake Haener. Okay? If we have Derek Carr, let's say Tampa's a coin toss, but you're supposed to win divisional games at home. So Tampa, Denver, at home, you're a better team than Denver, should win that game. LA, on the road, let's say it's a coin toss, let's say it's a loss though. Carolina, one of the worst teams in the NFL, you should beat Carolina. Atlanta at home, C above when we talked about Tampa. Cleveland, one of the worst teams in the NFL. So in these 6 games, you should go 4-2 at the minimum. Okay? And if you're 4-2, all of a sudden you're 6-5. You're 6-5 with the Giants, the Raiders, the Rams at home. Winnable games. Okay? And that's if you go 4-2 here. You could go 5-1 here. I'm giving some leeway because we don't know who's playing. But if healthy, 4-2, and then you figure it out here, and more than likely, just like we've said for months, you got a game at Tampa for all the marbles. More than likely. So it's right there in front of us. No doubt, this is the stretch right here. This is the stretch going into the bye week. Tampa Bay's the Super Bowl. You got to beat Tampa. And if it's Jake Haener, it'll be a bad day. Hopefully it's Carr. We still don't have any word on Carr. Got to beat Tampa. Bottom line. You got to beat Tampa, and you got to beat Denver. Got to beat Tampa, got to beat Denver. If we're 4-3 going to LA, okay. Then, you know, I mean, you should beat Carolina, Atlanta, and Cleveland. And people, you know, like, you got to remember, at Atlanta, certainly should have had that game. So the idea that we can't compete with Atlanta all of a sudden is absolutely insane. Like, people are like, where do you see 9 wins? And I'm like, here are the 9 wins I see. And they're like, you really think we can beat Atlanta? What makes you think we can beat Atlanta? Because I don't have Alzheimer's, because I don't have dementia. I remember this game on September 29th where we lost to them on a last-second 58-yard field goal because of a DPI call. All right? So we obviously can play with Atlanta again if all of our people are healthy. I mean, if we have Jake Haener, it's a whole different story. But got to beat Tampa, got to beat Denver, got to beat Carolina, got to beat Atlanta at home, got to beat Cleveland. That's simple. And then if you lose to LA, you lose to LA. So 5-1 in this stretch is not crazy. Not crazy. If Carr is back, we're probably favored in all 5 of those games. So 5-1, 4-2, going into the bye week. Worst case scenario, you're 6-5. You do that, the NFC South's in front of you. If you don't do that, if you lose to Tampa, yeah, you probably have a real long conversation about what's actually going on. You drop 4 straight, including versus Tampa at home. Bad news Bears. Bad news Bears. You lose to Tampa and Denver, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We'll see you next season. So, trying times right now, no doubt about it. Trying times right now, but that's the situation. I need to hear something from Klint. I need to hear something from him. I mean, I got some answers. Or I got some questions and he needs some answers. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. Comments below. What do you think? I'll see you in the next video.